Right.
So you're bringing out during the time of slavery, we were forced to eat pork, right?
Right.
So do you know why that happened? Do you know the results when we were forced to do that?
Because they were slaves and they didn't have no other choice. They was given it.
I'm gonna show you what happened.
If they was given that to eat, they had to survive too.
So I'm gonna show you, Miss Cassandra. First, get Deuteronomy 28, verse 61. I'm gonna show you what the end result was when we were forced to eat pork. And I'm gonna show you something else as well, Miss Cassandra. Shake this out.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law.
So like the soldier was going with you earlier, we're under the curses of God. So now one of the curses was that what? Read that part again.
Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law.
So it says every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, which is going into the Bible. One of those sicknesses is going into gout. Okay, one of those sicknesses is going into shorter lifespans.
Right.
When it's talking about that we're going to be suffering the curses of God, God's going to cut our lifespan. So yes, we're forced to eat pork during that time, but even when that happened, God judged us. So now, Miss Cassandra, have you heard of the book Before the Mayflower? Before the Mayflower. So before the Mayflower goes into the history of when our people, when we came to America, we came into America under slavery, and it went into the topic of how our people survived on the slave plantation. So we didn't just rely on eating pork, but what did we do? We used to go into the yes, ma'am.
All right. You said back in the slavery. All right.
African Americans. So who were we before we became African Americans, Miss Cassandra?
True black Jews. We are the true Jews of the world.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Man being greedy, want to sell the white man part of it, and they took over. So that's how the slavery and all this here and this, that, and pagan. We are the true black Jews. That I know.
So you knowing that, Miss Cassandra, what does God require of us as the Jews of the Bible?
Be truthful, to walk the right path that He got set for us.
So how do we walk the right path?
Live right, like you say, no drinking, smoking, no drugs.
So knowing that, why do you continue smoking, Miss Cassandra? 1 Samuel 2
I
and 3.
just started back smoking. So with that being said, I've been quit smoking for years. Since I've been here, I started that smoking.
So I'm gonna show you.
But so, which I'm trying to stop. Not that's why I'm smoking it, but I'm not buying extra cigarettes.
So Miss Cassandra, I'm gonna show you. You know that you're a Jew. You know that you're the Israelite according to the Bible from the tribe of Judah. It's not. We can't just know that we are. There's actions behind it. Like you said earlier, we have to walk the right way. So let's see what the scriptures say. 1 Samuel 2 and 3.
Book of 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 3. Talk no more so exceedingly proudly.
Because that's what a lot of our people do. Now, we're not just saying you. We were all doing it at one point. We're all talking exceedingly proud. Oh, we're the gods of the earth. We're kings. We're priests. That we all saying this, but there has to be actions behind what we're saying. We can't just say those things because it's just empty words. Read on.
Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge.
So God is a God of knowledge.
And by Him, actions are ways.
By God, actions are ways. So we can't just talk about it. We have to actually apply it in our lives as well. So you know that you're a Jew, you're an Israelite, you know that, hey, we cannot smoke cigarettes. We cannot smoke cigars. So you're by yourself right now. You say you just started back up doing that. So what is the solution for you to stay away from smoking? Get Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25.
Well, for me, like I said, this is a wing off, I quit drinking, so I gave up a lot, to get back on track. Because I know I done fell to the side. And always pick me back up. And it's up to me to get back on that track.
So now, remember what we read earlier? Actions are ways. So I'm going to show you an action that's going to help you to quit smoking cigars, quit smoking cigarettes permanently. Because we can't just do this by ourselves. We have to be around like-minded brothers and sisters to pull this up. So check this out, Miss Cassandra. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25.
Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together.
So it says we cannot forsake the assembling of ourselves together, meaning what? We all have to congregate with each other. You have to be continuously with a godly man and a godly woman. You You have to congregate. Because when you're congregating with like-minded brothers and sisters, the things that you're going through, the stresses, the trials, the tribulations, the stress, the anxieties that you're going through, you be able to go to your fellow sister and you be able to counsel with that fellow sister and tell them what you're going through. Get that stress, get that that heaviness off your chest. And that's what's gonna help you to overcome the cigarettes, overcome the cigars. You're not gonna be able to do it by yourselves. None of us can do it by ourselves. God created us to be together with like-minded brothers and sisters so we can build each other up. That's why the scriptures say, that's why Paul was telling the Hebrews, we cannot forsake the assembling of ourselves together. Read on.
As the manner of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching.
So it says we have to exhort one another, we have to build each other up in the scriptures. Like the soldier was bringing out earlier, 1 Corinthians 3:16, we cannot defile our temple. Because why? Read that last part again.
As much the more as ye see the day approaching.
As much more you see the day approaching. Christ is going to return. When Christ returns, before Christ returns, there's going to be trials, there's going to be more tribulations, there's going to be more pestilences, there's going to be wars, there's going to be famine coming. You see what's happening over in Europe right now between Russia and Ukraine. How Ukraine is one of the largest suppliers of wheat, but that's being disrupted by the war. So that's going to increase the price of food, the price of wheat, and it's also the price of oil is going to go up right now. So I don't know if you've seen what's happening between Saudi Arabia, OPEC, or how they're limiting the oil supply to the world, which is going to do what? That's going to raise the price of fuel. The raising the price of fuel is going to raise to what? The price of food and goods, because we need trucks to transport goods across the country. So this is why. Get that Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 16 now. So now this famine is going to come. We've seen pestilence in 2020 with COVID, but there's more pestilences are going to come. But this is what Moses told us in the spirit. Read that.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So the scripture says, cursed shall thou be in the city. Like the brother was going earlier, we're cursed in the city by what? House of Meats, for example. Do our people own House of Meats?
No, they don't.
Do we own the Walgreens down the street?
No, they don't.
Or the Presidente down the street? No. We have to go to people who look nothing like us. For example, we have to go to the Edomites. We have to go to the Moabites. The Moabites, for example, are your Chinese. The Chinese, they own all they own the beauty supply stores, the hair extension stores. We have the Edomites. They control our grocery stores, the supermarkets. For example, you have the Elamites. They control the corner stores. You have the Ishmaelites, who are the so-called Arabs. They control the corner stores. So we have to go to people who look nothing like us for our food, and that's a curse. These same people who own all our grocery stores, they're the ones who control our food supplies. So what is God warning us in the spirit? That we have to prepare for the coming famine that's going to come. That's why Paul's saying we have to exhort each other, for the days are approaching. So read that part again.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
So, Miss Cassandra, historically speaking, how were we cursed in the field?
Bring it out.
Are we cursed in the field?
Yes, ma'am. I want you to look at this sign, Miss Cassandra. How are we cursed in the field, historically speaking?
Slavery.
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 Because who are the ones picking the cotton, chopping the sugar cane, harvesting tobacco?
Our ancestors did that.
Our ancestors.
Right.
That's how we were cursed in the field. We're the ones who are gathering all the crops, but we didn't get any benefit from it. That's how we're cursed in the field. When we look it up at modern times, we bring it up to modern times, for example, we're cursed in the field through the job market. We have the highest unemployment rate. When we look at businesses in our communities, disproportionately, we do not own businesses in our communities to employ our own people. We have to depend on, again, the other nations. We have to depend on the Edomites, who are the so-called Caucasians. We have to depend on the so-called Chinese. We have to depend on the East Indians. We have to depend on the other nations for employment. So that's how we're cursed in the field. That's going into the job market. That's also how we're cursed in the city, because we do not control our own businesses to employ our own people. So you see how all that is happening because we're breaking God's commandments?
Right.
Miss Cassandra? So now, you know that you're Israel. Give me Deuteronomy 22 and verse 5. So there's more actions that we have to apply to ourselves so in order for us to get out of these curses, Miss Cassandra.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.
strong in the Lord. His word. His word.